Northern Sporades, this insular complex with the unique beauty and the apodictical diachronic worth, comprises center of attraction for thousands of indigenous and foreign visitors yearly. The three big islands, Skiathos, Skopelos and Alonnissos, and other smaller ones like Kirapanagia, Yura, Peristera, Piperi, Skanzoura and Psathura all together make a marvelous arcuate formation of terrestrial emergence from blue of the Aegean Sea. Certainly the Omnium includes other undersized small islands, where together with rock islets simulate as heaven for seafarers, Robinsonian vacationers, researchers, and anyway for seekers of the realistic dream. Anno Magneton Nisi, as ancient geographers denominate Northern Sporades, display a special variety and exhibit as a unique extraordinariness. The recognition of the Alonnissos archipelagos as the largest marine protected area in Europe spotlights the importance of terrestrial and thalassic ecosystems and the notable biodiversity, the gorgeousness of geotopes, and of course the nodal character of marine commercial routes from the Neolithic times. For the realistic vision of consolidation, a status indubitable sustainability, the established management body of the National Marine Park of Alonnissos Northern Sporades, beyond the evident role, aims at the effective participating of inhabitants in care and development of the sea park. Lifelong target for the management body is the optimization of the methods of administration at the following areas: wildlife, landscape, cultural heritage, fishing resources as benefit of the universal community.
Είναι λίγος ο χρόνος για να μιλήσουμε για αυτόν τον υπέροχο τόπο με τα φυσικά συστήματα και την μοναδική βιοποικιλότητά του. Εμείς τον διοικούμε και τον διαχειριζόμαστε μαζί με τους κατοίκους, τους τοπικούς φορείς και την πολιτεία. Προσπαθούμε για τη βιώσιμη ανάπτυξη του χώρου αυτού, για την μοναδική σχέση ανθρώπου και φύσης.
The island of Alonnissos was the ancient Oikos at the natural entrenchment on the hill of Agios Ioannis. There grows a city with the Acropolis and walls for protection against the omnifurious invaders. Today, the architectural array of Hora magnetizes the global citizen, consisting one of the island's diamonds. Close at hand, but far lower, is the coast of Megalos Mourtias. And on the opposite, north side, Gialia. Patitiri is the main gate from the sea to Alonnissos, which refers to the patitiria, wine presses. However, pylon of the local economy remain the fishing armada and its soul, the fishermen who thresh the seas.
Εμείς οι αλληλείς της Αλονίσου ήμασταν από τους προτεργάτες για τη δημιουργία του Εθνικού Θαλασσίου Πάρκου Αλονίσου. Πιστεύουμε στο επάγγελμα της παραδοσιακής αλληλείας θα πρέπει να διατηρηθεί παράλληλα με την προστασία της μεσογειακής φώκιας και την διατήρηση των ιχθυοποθυμάτων. Άνθρωπος και περιβάλλον πρέπει να συμβιώνουν μαζί χωρίς να θίγεται ούτε μία πλευρά αλλά ούτε και η άλλη.
However, at this crossroad of civilizations, there is also the Alonnissos Museum of Pirates. In any case, a museological pluralism which sets forth pictures of folklore and tradition of the island.
Βρισκόμαστε στο Μουσείο Πειρατείας, το οποίο είναι μοναδικό σε όλο το Αιγαίο και έχει αντικείμενα από την εποχή της πειρατείας από το 1600 ως το 1900. Η δράση των πειρατών ήταν πολύ σημαντική στα μέρη μας, γιατί ήταν ο ναυτικός κόμβος μεταξύ Βορρά, Νότου, Ανατολής, Δύσης και τα πολυάριθμα νησιά που υπάρχουν στο σύμπλεγμα βοηθούσε ώστε να γίνονται λιμέρια, κρυψώνες και να μαζεύονται κάθε είδος πειρατές στην περιοχή μας.
Simply, the island is full of germination, and at every footstep you take, you will discover a different beauty. One of the most famous postal cards is the scenic small church of Agia Anargiri as it stands at the edge of the cliff. In ancientry, the island was famed for the quality and the quantity of its viniculture, so as to detect productive units making amphorae, like here at Tsoukalia, with the inscription Ikion on one handle. And the barrage of sites continues with the neighboring of the Patitiri districts, Roussoum Yalos and Votsi. At the tug-of-war between green and blue, the coasts of Milya and Chryssi Milya are present. On the peninsula of Kokkinokastro lies one of the two ancient cities of the island, fortified of course with walls, but a large part of it is now sunk into the sea because of earthquakes.
Βρισκόμαστε στις Καρπίτσες, στην Αλόνισσο, και όπως βλέπετε εδώ πρόκειται για μια οχυρωμένη αγρικία. Τέτοιες υπάρχουν και σε άλλα μέρη του νησιού, όπως στα Τσουκαλιά, στις Ράχες. Η αρχαία οίκος είχε ένα ευρύ δίκτυο εμπορικών συναλλαγών και στη Μαύρη Θάλασσα και σε όλη τη Μεσόγειο.
At optical proximity with Peristera, Leftos Yalos has its fans, and Steni Vala remains a refuge for yawls and yachts. The coastal white zone of Agios Dimitrios flirts with turquoise sea waters of Channel between Alonnissos and Peristera, so a lot of people account it as the flagship of one of the most exotic places, with dolphins as escort. Now see way to Δύο Αδελφοί, and southeastern to Scanzura, the ancient Scandira, according to Roman Plinius at his grand work The Natural History, which together the satellite rock islets Korakas, Strongylou and Polemica form absolutely deserted geographical monuments. But if you trace through semi-closed paths and at live vegetation with cypresses and cedars, you will see the structure of an old monastery with a central church of Evangelistria. Glorious echo some Anhoritis, an unexploited ecotouristic Eden at present. At Peristera, with the shape of a pigeon, equanimity and harmony fill the landscape, but in its sea space, an Athenian hoy of classical period rests on sandy bottom. And with 4,000 amphorae to synthesize a sensational jigsaw puzzle, 30 meters deeper from azure surface. At a nice gulf, port of necessity, Byzantine ships of Emperor Nikephoros Phokas, with his leading, find shelter waiting for the weather to be calm as they come after Arab pirates and then the gulf denominated Vasilikos. Today, exiguous families and 2 or 3 big fishing boats disturb the tranquility of discernible wrecks. Kirapanaya, another island of Sporades, what we would call uninhabited if there were no monks on the holy monastery of Megisti Lavra of Mount Athos, who came here and enlivened the monastery of Panaya. Aloft on the rock, the path conducts to a scenery where as you approach you will see the cupolas to pop out from an elevated grapevine, and in front the small vineyard on land to present indirectly a wine from Mount Athos. Countless the visitors who ascend the path, leaving back the blue-green water, and here at Peloponnesus, the cove Planitis seems an excellent port for the armadas of ancient kingdoms, as much again for the corsairs. The opposite pole is the cove of Agios Petros, and at the homonymic islet, the overland and submarine archaeological finds highlight the earliest organized town of insular Aegean. Without doubt, the Lilliputian islet Paphos is the minimum sample of the mythical conflict of the Titans. But the picturesque small church Evangelistria, the wells, and the relic of the windmill magnify the presence and multiply the silence. At Eura, covered with bushes named Frigana, there are species of wild goat, Capra aegagrus, and the foresters here focus on the conservation of bioreserves. At Eura gapes high the big rocky arch, the Cyclops' Eye. Farther away, at the cave with rich decoration in stalactites and stalagmites, found human bones over 2 meters, and here we assume that was the island of Cyclops in the well-known story of Odyssey. Excavations at Cyclops Cave show that people used the cave from the 9th millennium before Christ. Tools made by obsidian from Milos Island and fishermen's bone hooks elevate the anthropic being and the prehistoric navigation, while the ceramic pieces of art, incised with marks like fancy work, go to zenith in the 6th millennium before Christ. The most eastern island of Sporades is Piperi, the core of the sea park, which is strictly protected. An oblong mountain bulge without harborages, with impressive coverage of pines. The miscellany of coastline secretes decades of seal caves, and the aftermath is to be characterized as a place with the most precious refuge for Mediterranean monk seal, Monachus monachus. Except for the thousands of pines with the signs of gum resin collection, the arboretum complete holly, frigana, and hasmophytes, while the inaccessible rocks are dwelling for some 100 pairs of Eleonora's falcon, who monopolize the panorama of archipelagos and the chromatic feast of the waters. Psathura is a volcanic island, a floating disk in the Aegean Sea, with maximum height half the one of the tower of its famous lighthouse. Walking on raven pyroclastic rocks and lava, you watch that amazing color of the seawater. The heather covers everything, and some lizards make you feel like Darwin at the Galapagos Islands. The seaside with shoal waters and the blonde sand have unimaginable beauty, strictly an exotic paradise in mid-Aegean Sea. A lot of hours doing snorkeling in the sea scenic filled with rare reflection at wide seagrass beds of the seaweed Posidonia oceanicae and of course the kaleidoscopic fish fauna. There at Madraki there is a sunken ancient city because of the eruption of the volcano about 1350 before Christ, and someone can localize well enough remnants from masonries and foundations of ancient temples. Here is the supposed Chrysi, the last port for Jason during the campaign of the Argonauts to Colchis, for the covetable wealth of the Black Sea in the name of the Golden Fleece. The sea lily is the absolute beauty and its populations charm any visitor. In a similar manner, the outstanding stone-built and conspicuous pharos of Psathura diffuses its appeal and beams its light from the focal height of 40 meters. The management body of the National Marine Park, between its miscellaneous duties, apprises, sensitizes and briskens the concept of volunteering, giving opportunities of life to young people, who will continue later their donation as ambassadors of our country.
Hi, my name's Christy. I studied marine biology and I've come from the UK to volunteer at Alonnissos in their marine park for 6 weeks. It's an amazing island, I love it, and you should come and visit.
The management body designates also the platform of scientific research and shows the worth of Mutual Learning School in collaboration with universities and other corporations, as naturally with MOM, the leading society for the study and protection of the monk seal.
Η MOM είναι μια περιβαλλοντική οργάνωση εθνικής εμβελείας. Ιδρύθηκε το 1988 από μια ομάδα βιολόγων του Πανεπιστημίου Αθηνών. Μεγάλο μέρος των δραστηριοτήτων της ΜΟΜ έχει γίνει εδώ στην περιοχή του Εθνικού Θαλασσίου Πάρκου Βορείων Σποράδων, στην Αλόνισσο, γιατί εδώ ζει και αναπαράγεται ένας από τους σημαντικότερους πληθυσμούς μεσογειακής φώκιας σε όλο τον κόσμο. Όσο η μεσογειακή φώκια είναι από τα σπανιότερα θηλαστικά του πλανήτη, οι πληθυσμοί οι τελευταίοι του είδους ζουν στην Ελλάδα. Άρα είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικό για τη χώρα μας να προστατεύσει και να διατηρήσει αυτό το είδος στο μέλλον, γιατί διατηρώντας στην ουσία τη μεσογειακή φώκια, προστατεύουμε όλο το θαλάσσιο περιβάλλον της χώρας μας.
The traditional occupations of Alonnissos natives as threshing relive at summer cultural festivals and with the hearty participation of vacationers. Except for the unceasing contribution of the sea in centuries to the survival of man through halieutics, together come and the shipwright at boat yards. The ecotourism affords faculties of action, either trekking or visiting magnificent sea caves. In the Blue Cave, the play of light and diffractions features all the hue of blue, and the pictures and the shows succeed each other. At areas where the access is free to all, the visitors can do swimming, snorkeling, fishing, observation of wildlife, amateur photographing, visits to cultural monuments, trekking, and others. Different delegates of wildlife nestle at Sea Park, as monk seals, sea turtles, and seabirds, and it's worth the spectacle of cormorants as they fly close to the sea level and attack to catch the food. Also here live about 300 species of fish, birds, up to 80 species, as well as the known reptiles. Of course, in the area, the adorable dolphins patrol playing, while Audouin's gulls, from the rarest gulls in the world, and definitely species in danger of extinction. The monk seal is one of the largest seal species in the world, with a length of 2 to 3 meters and an average weight around 250 kilos. The keeping of such a large area demands a reliable and systematic approach. The patrol boats of the management body act for the day-to-day surveillance, monitoring, research, and guarding of the marine parks area. In order to accomplish the best result, the sea park is divided in 2 protection zones with the comparative progressive restrictions, visitors and professional fishermen alike. And of course the effective safety of the specific 3-dimensional uniqueness, this monument of the world natural heritage is an everlasting challenging task for the management body of the National Marine Park of Alonnissos Northern Sporades.